Hey, Claire.
Hello? Can you hear me
Oh, there she
okay?
is. Yes, we can. Hi, welcome
Excellent,
back.
excellent. Thank you. Oh, thank you for inviting me back again. It's amazing. Thank you.
Well,
It's a privilege to have you back. And we
Oh,
had
bless
to. It was like a sandwich. We had to close the bread out.
you.
that's true, it's true. Well, welcome back to the Sapphic World Book Club. You know how this works. We're gonna have people send the questions to you in the chat to Jess and me. We're hosting today, and we'll ask the question for them. Let's start with the little giveaway, or the major giveaway, Claire.
Thank you for offering that up. So, sorry, Kaz, I
No, go,
interrupted.
go, go, go. I'm clutching my little paper.
Right, yes. We wrote down a number um earlier before the event started, and Claire is going to offer a giveaway to one lucky human here. Um, and can you please send a number between 1 and 55? Had to be over 50, didn't it? To Jamie, and the one that is closest gets a prize. So send it over to Jamie. And Caroline, go.
Yeah, it's my thing.
It's your thing now. Go.
Well, we did a little poll, the polling during the book club event, Claire.
Mhm.
What did you guess? Did you redeem Nicola?
Oh, what do I guess that people thought?
Yeah.
Um, Hopefully most think that by the end of book three that she is redeemed. Hopefully. I don't know. I'm a bit nervous now about
Do
what
you
the
think
answer
she
is.
is?
um, do I think she
Yeah.
is? Oh yes, yeah. But I mean, it's difficult from my point of view because I've known what the outcome for her the whole time, so I know what I'm aiming towards. I always thought she was redeemable. Um,
Well, you
that
did a
she was.
good job because most of us thought so.
Oh, right, good, good,
Yeah.
good.
Um, and what about we also asked if they were surprised that Olivia wanted a baby. What did you think? Are they?
um, I think the end. Hopefully, well, hopefully surprised, but it was believable. That's what I was going for. That's where I was aiming for.
I think, well, we didn't say believable. We just say were they surprised. So, but yeah, almost half of us were surprised. Me personally, not so much because she had already a little like a bond with B.
Yeah, I mean that was
But
the progression I wanted, from like tempting Olivia, like at the beginning she's like, oh my God, children, they're so messy,
yeah,
no sense of
ew,
personal
they're
space.
sticky.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
get them away from me. And then she meets B and thinks, well, hello, little autistic child, I understand you perfectly. You're a
yeah.
perfectly
Hello,
reasonable
little
human being
me.
by the end of it. And by the end of tempting Olivia, she's kind of like, oh, children are mini people. I don't like lots of them, but some of them are okay.
Yeah,
And then you
hopefully
see,
mine will be.
yeah, and then in discovering Nicola, there's Gita doesn't notice it because she's got so much going on, but there's the progression in the background of Olivia, as well as thinking children are just mini people and not so bad. She also realized at the end of tempting Olivia that a mum isn't just an annoying mum; she's a person who is has issues just like she does, and that realizes her mum is just a girl who's actually heartbroken, and that turns her opinion round. I mean, I think she is like she develops a lot at the end of her book, and you know it because you've read it and been inside her head, but Gita doesn't yet. So it's all happening in the background of discovering Nicola, that progression of she's very in tune with B. She loves doing these things for her that she wanted doing for her when she was little, and so hopefully people noticed it was there, even though the idea that was that Gita hasn't quite tuned into that Olivia's there for her
She
and
had other
is
things on her mind, let's say.
yeah.
Right. Okay, shall we start with the questions? Because we have a whole lot. Jess?
Okay.
Yeah, we got a lot. Okay, right. said Fred. I've got some here from the form. Oh my God, there's so
There's so many. You want
Okay,
me to
well, right.
start? Yeah.
No, it's cool. I got it. I got it. Right. How and when did you get the idea to pair off Geeta from Kelsey?
Oh, right. When I started the series, before starting writing Meeting Millie, I had an idea of the couples, the type of relationship they'd have, or the kind of the thrust of the story, like friends to lovers for Millie and Charlotte, celebrity romance for Olivia, and enemies to lover for Nicola and Geeta. So before starting writing the first draft of Millie, I had all the couples paired up so that I can, give the hint in the first book, like Olivia's watching this favorite actresses, Kate Lawrence, and that some people did spot that there was a tension that was interesting between Geeta and Nicola. It wasn't just kind of some people did spot it, but that was deliberately there. I like to have those hints right from the beginning of things that are going to happen. So the couples were decided before even starting like book one, and themes and things. I at least had those in order.
So you're a planner, not a pantser.
Yes, I think I kind of. I do a lot of. I don't know what other writers do that. I mean, I definitely don't just sit down at the keyboard with a blank page and go, right, I'm going to start off chapter one right down to the end. But I also, I kind of, I suppose before draft one, I write a heck of a lot of notes of, any scene I think of, I'll write that down, snippets of dialogue, characteristics, bits of history that I want to get into, for characterization. I jot down, it's about half a book's worth of notes, even of little scenes and stuff, and then I juggle them about. So it's kind of, that very creative part isn't just sitting down and going from end to end. It's not kind of planning. It's kind of, there's a lot of creativity before actually sitting down and doing draft one. And I'm not quite sure where that falls on the plotter or, pantser thing.
But did you write them, publish them, write them, publish them, write them, publish them, or have them like all three of them like done basically? Because then you can go back and go like, oh, I need to like make that sure that there's a hint in book one for.
They're a bit. I didn't know. I didn't write all of them. I'm a very slow writer, but I had notes for book three. As I was writing book one, I'd be noting stuff down. I'd have an idea for a scene in book three, so I think, no, I've got to put in a hint for book one for there to a certain extent. But I have fewer and fewer notes going to book three, so not very many for book three until I got to the point of actually writing it. So a bit of both.
That's cool.
I've got a question that's linked very, very close to that from Liz. What character did you create first, and how did they develop from there?
Oh, nice question, actually. I suppose, I mean, the original inspiration for the whole series is that I used to live in Oxford and I missed it horribly when I moved. I've missed it so much, it was kind of bereft me leaving it. And I wasn't ready to set a book there for ages. But then I felt ready and I thought, well, it's such a good setting that I enjoy so much that I want to make really good use of it. So I wanted to do a series. And then it was kind of natural for me to think of somebody returning to Oxford because I was kind of doing that. So I like the idea of a student going back to it when in her 30s. And that's how Charlotte came along. And then it's very quickly Millie and Olivia came along as very different friends that she had. What was the question again? Sorry, I've forgotten where I was going with this. Does that answer it?
Which character came
Which
first?
All right, there
character
we go. Yes,
Oxford. Oxford. Oh.
Oxford, actually, yes,
Oxford
Oxford.
was the first character. That actually really links to what we were talking about in the
Yeah.
book.
And
Of like,
I had to write it down
yeah,
because
go Kaz.
Oxford is like a character in itself, as you're now confirming. Would this have worked in another city, like maybe Cambridge, or I don't know, someone mentioned Scotland, somewhere in Scotland. Would the characters be different?
Yeah, I think similar. Yeah, you could carry them off with kind of prestigious university that's beautiful. Yeah, a lot of it you could, I think. So if it was like St Andrews or Edinburgh or something like that, or yeah, Cambridge, I think um, I couldn't have written it in the same way because Oxford is so inspiring to me, and trying to think. There are certain settings that did inspire kind of scenes. So some of it is specific to Oxford, and I wouldn't have written it somewhere else. Um, I know Cambridge reasonably well, but not like I do Oxford. I didn't live there for as long as I did in Oxford, so I couldn't have written it somewhere else.
Jess?
Yep. Um, Nicola's character development is the most drastic of all characters in this trilogy. Was this intended as a representation of compulsive heterosexuality or suppression of her own sexuality due to the patriarchal society and her career choice?
Yes, there you go. Yeah, that covers it very nicely.
Cool.
Oh, I love this. Um, um, we have three books in Oxford now. Will there be a fourth? Because we still have Annie and she deserves someone.
Yes.
I do feel so guilty about Annie. Yeah, I only planned three originally, and I wanted an arc over the whole series of mother and daughter relationships. There's a lot of threads that go through those three books, and they are all tied up in those three books that I originally had planned. I think there are little bits which I wanted to cover that I didn't. And there are a few things I do feel I don't want to really leave Annie sort of all single. So I might return to some parts in short stories or a novella or something, but the series as it is kind of stands as finished.
I've got a comment from Vesta, which I think she's very passionate about this, is Patreon, 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 Patreon.
She may have mentioned this to me already. Yeah, it's possibly I am having a think about it. It's because I've got a lot of material of ideas that I could do, but we'll see. We'll see.
Kaz?
Um, well, you talked a little bit about how you've picked the characters and the story, but um, how um, how does the story come in your head? Like you have the characters and then what? What happens? Are you like
Um,
storyboarding?
I I wish I was as structured as storyboarding and as organized, but I just I just daydream it a lot in my head for a long time before even sitting down to start chapter one. It's the place might come first, a character, then a bit of a plot idea, like the friends to lovers, and then I think, well, who do I want on the other side of that? And then I will circle all of those, the characters, the plot, the setting. They will all keep inspiring me to do something else, and it'll kind of grow out of that. So I just keep circling around and keep having scenes in my head. Then I'll get kind of I'll at some point I'll realize what the emotional core of the novel is that I really want to capture, and um, the scenes and feelings I really want. I listen to a lot of music. A lot of my writing is done while I've got headphones on and washing up or something, or I've gone for a walk. I'll be, scenes will come into my head a lot there, and I find music very, very useful for tuning the emotional kind of vibe of a novel. I find that really good. And while I'm writing a novel, I'll have a soundtrack or a list of tunes that I will keep me in the flavour of the novel. And it will inspire more scenes. And I just keep going around like that, and I'll be writing it like for Nicola. I'd had like half a book's worth of notes and little scenes and things, and then when I've got a really firm idea of what's the core of this character, how are they going to develop, what is the point of the whole novel, then I will sit down and start writing it end to end, and I will be pulling little scenes in. A lot of it goes to waste. It's really annoying. It's part of the reason I did a series was that whenever I do a novel, I've got so much material left over. I thought, right, well, I could do something with this. I've got all these lovely secondary characters. Why don't I write a series and use some of it? But of course, now I've written a series, I've just got 3 times much material left over. So I've still got loads of material left over.
I'm repeating, Patreon, Patreon. So we've discussed in the book club part that the neurospiciness of a few characters plays a big part in this book.
Yes, it does.
Why and how did you prepare for that?
That was one of the big. I mean, it fits in with the whole biggest themes of the series is awakenings and change and discovering something about yourself, and also other people not being as you thought you were, and you weren't, like the sexuality awakenings, and I also wanted the sort of neurotype awakenings as well, and partly that was because Charlotte came first, and as she was doing scenes in my head and how she behaves, it's like, oh well, she has ADHD, she's at least an inattentive type, and maybe other things as well. But then the problem, I have ADHD as well, so I like books that either make it really clear that that character is neurodivergent or names it, either way, because these characters, quirky characters have appeared in books for centuries, but we do understand them as being neurodivergent now, so I kind of like it spelled out or made obvious. But the trouble with labeling it in the first book was that it just didn't fit the timeline that I wanted, because 15 years ago at university, she wouldn't have been diagnosed as ADHD. She wouldn't have thought of it, because then it was ADHD was a hyperactive boys thing. Girls don't get it, especially a girl that reaches university, and no chance she wouldn't have been diagnosed. And it's also, her realization of it would have overshadowed the present as well, with the relationship with Millie, which I was already covering quite a lot there, because they're going from friends to enemies, back to trying to be friends to eventually lovers, so already had quite enough there, and establishing the other characters. So I thought this was having a series, there's a great opportunity to really explore beyond just the romance. And so I thought I'd use that for this thread of realizing in book 2 that, I made sure in book 1 that she has obvious traits, like she's very distractible, she's not the most coordinated, she's anxious, she has panic attacks, and the things that help her, she seems like she's succeeding by the end of the book, because Millie tends to step in, accepts her for who she is, does things like body doubling at university. That's how she got through university. When she's having to prepare for a meeting, she goes, I'll hang out with you, I'll read a book, keep you company. And that just happens to be things that help people with ADHD. So that's how she's so, her life is so much better with someone like Millie, who happens to tune in to exactly what she needs without even realizing it. So then it was important for me that it was very clearly said that in book 2, she has ADHD. A character like this in a book is an ADHDer. She's neurodivergent. And also explore a little bit of what that's like to unmask and realize, because it can be quite messy. So that's not something I would have fitted in the first book, and then that opened up the opportunity in book 3 to really explore, well, how did that impact her relationship with Nicola? What did Nicola see of that? And how she wasn't supported when she was younger and why Millie was so effective as a friend and support. So that was really interesting for me because it's a lot, discovering. I mean, I've been known I have ADHD for a number of years, and it's quite a lot. It doesn't unravel on the spot, and you don't understand everything. Like, poof, everything's better. It takes time. So it was really nice to explore that across a whole series from different perspectives. Again, I have no idea what the original question was.
Well, we were talking about the whole neurospiciness, and I think a lot of people here are on that spectrum. So I just want to personally thank you because I recognized a lot in that book, and I thought it was very um, open to the struggles and the reaction of people that didn't understand it, and also made me understand Nicola a lot better when there was like a flashback of their family life and the all the crap that she had to pick up to keep the motor running. And I was like, oh, yeah, poor Nicola, which was a sentence I did not expect to utter after
It's
the first two books.
yeah, I um it was weird writing from Nicola's point of view, but also it's quite easy to as well because her frustrations are things I've heard about me for my whole life, and also when you're when you have that the whole life, you ask it of yourself. It's like, why the hell can't I just do this? Why can't I be on time? Why can't I be tidy? So it actually was quite easy to write from her point of view. So it was quite interesting actually. As not some people didn't like having the ADHD storyline. So it was possibly the most controversial part of the series, maybe,
Hmm.
which surprised me actually. I hopefully now, if people have read the whole series, they can see that it is quite consistent and makes sense with Charlotte's character. But the thing, some people who are neurodivergent really like the representation, which was lovely to hear. But the one thing that kind of made it worthwhile for me was that I had an email from someone who she's married for lots of years to her wife, and they have some relationship issues that they just could never get past and never understood. And it caused a lot of tension. And she was reading Discovering Nicola, just later and later into the night, faster and faster, and way into the early hour of the morning. And then she turned to her wife in the morning and said, "Do you think you have ADHD?" And her wife turned to her and said, "Actually, I think I might. It's something I've been thinking about." And they suddenly started reading lots of material about having ADHD and, what it's like in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have ADHD. And they realized a lot of their problems are classic, that combination. And they suddenly had a bit more hope of how to solve these issues that they'd had and just couldn't get past for years. So that was just made up for everything. It was amazing. It's like one of the most incredible reactions to a book I've written, I think.
That is too cute. It's yeah, it is. Sorry, I was doing multiple things and you should not do that when you have ADHD. We have another question about like the whole representation of not only ADHD but also endometriosis, OCD, miscarriage, autism, the side effects of menopause, and so on and so on. There's a lot in these three books that make these characters very human with all their problems. But what did you need to research and how did you do that to be able to represent them so well?
Um,
I mean, I hope you don't have all of them.
no, I like some proximity to things I write about. It doesn't have to be me. It might be somebody I know well or a friend or something. I do like, I like to have a real connection to it, to feel like I'm addressing it in a real world way rather than a theoretical way. Same with people. It's kind of, I like to have a little bit of a connection to whoever I'm writing about that I know is real and I can depend on. it seems there's a lot of issues there, isn't there? You listed it out, but I did want to include real world issues and real issues for. You've got six main characters, and you go back from flashbacks from like Charlotte's 18 all the way up to Nicola, who's approaching 60. That's a lot of life that's covered in those six characters. So I wanted to put a lot of real world issues in there because I mean, I know romance is an escape for lots of people, but I find I relate to characters a lot more if they have flaws or if they have issues. And I find that the payoff at the end, the happy ever after, is feels real and better if if a perfect person gets a happy ever after, it doesn't feel as good as if a flawed person, just like me, gets a happy ever after. So that's the kind of romance I like reading and writing. And I know not everybody's the same, but that's particularly what I like writing. And again, I have no idea what the original question was.
Doesn't matter. You answered it perfectly.
You got there in the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Um, Maria says, "Oh, poor Nicola," because of all the shit she had to like fix, basically. And she says, "Does anyone like Millie? For her, it was the least likable character." Did you? I loved Millie. Well, I had to get used to Millie, but her being so sweet to Charlotte did like a lot.
Yeah, it's funny actually. Millie seen as did you do a poll saying who was the
Yeah.
favorite character and as Millie was least favorite?
Well, we had a few Millies, but a lot of Olivia's and Nicholas,
Hmm.
and a few Charlottes. But
It's
Nicola and Olivia were top.
everybody likes the icy ladies, don't they? It's, it's
Well, not me personally.
I must admit. I mean, I love all of them.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I know Millie's quite yeah more divisive than I thought she was going to be. She does push up against people's boundaries. She does, she is brash. She is outspoken. She likes needling people. So I probably should have expected it, but she is blunt. She is not polite. And
I
I
thought
mean,
it was refreshing, actually,
well, this is the thing.
with all the stiff upper
She's
lips going on.
she's inspired by kind of people I used to adore when I was younger, when I was kind of quite quiet and quite unsure. And then I just admire these women who just said stuff and didn't put up with stuff. And I thought they were amazing. So that's why Millie's there because I frequently really like that kind of person.
I
But
think you're not the only.
I hope book three kind of redeems her as well. If people didn't like her, but if just for standing up for Nicola and being the person who will say, the quiet part out loud, right to her face. So I hope people in the end thought, yes, that's Millie. That's what Millie's there for.
Yeah. Well, I'm there for it. I'm just mindful of the time because we are officially over now.
Oh,
Over,
blimey,
over our
that
time
went
slot.
so
We
quick.
have a lot more questions. Do you have a few more minutes?
I do, yes.
Okay, cool. If for everyone attending, if you have to leave, we won't be mad if you have to because we know people have days and stuff to get back to in lives. But the whole Q&A will be on YouTube later, so you can always check it out. So if you have to leave, then just thank you for joining us and bye. Okay, back to oh yeah.
If you leave and you win the giveaway, when
Oh,
we do
maybe we should
yeah,
do that now because we have a close call. We have,
well,
okay, let me see. We asked for a number between 1 and 55. I
we
will
did.
show you my number, which was 36. And we have Carolyn Durson at 37 and Lana P at 35.
Oh,
Yes. So now we have a shootout question. And please be kind to me, Lana and Caroline. Carolyn. Caroline. Can you put in the chat to me How old am I? Guess
Oh,
my age.
guess the age of Caroline and you win.
Let's see. Um, oh, they don't want to. Oh, Lana is here. Oh, thank you, Lana. Lana says, oh no, I'm not gonna say it anyway because I want Caroline first. Let's see. Where is she? Oh, here. Lana says, okay, Lana said 35 and Caroline says 42. Well, I thank you kindly, both ladies. I am
Harold said
44.
that you should pick the one that makes you the youngest.
Oh, that's true. No, I'm 44. So Caroline, almost same name. Must be a thing. You are the winner. Yay! Yep. Okay, back to regular programming.
Oh, blimey. There's so many. Okay, right. Here we go. So we've got one here, which is to do with a very British question. Nicola and Charlotte's mother-daughter relationship gave me very Miranda Hart and her on-screen mothers from Call the Midwife or Miranda. Did those shows inspire that upper class disapproval between a polished mother and an awkward disaster child, or do you actually know women like Nicola and Charlotte?
I hadn't thought of that pairing actually. I must admit, it's more inspired by people I know, yeah, in real life. Sort of friends, mothers that I've known in the past who were fascinating people and intriguing and awful and wonderful. So it's more real people, yeah.
Um, hold on, I've lost her. Sorry. We've got one here from Elle. Given all the extra notes left from the three books, would a Haley Cass situation be a possibility where a different outcome for the characters could happen, but they ultimately still end up together?
Oh,
Oh,
I was going to say no because it's like no, they're all happy now. Why would I do that? But yeah, if they were,
So like
probably
an
not.
alternate universe kind
Um, I don't think I do an alternative universe, but I would like to fill in the gaps because originally discovering Nicola, I did when I planned the series, I thought maybe I'd do book three as like a family drama with point of views from Charlotte and Olivia, so you see more progression of their threads still. But I found out I just had there was too much I wanted to do with just Nicola and Gita for a start. There was so much I had to pack into this book, so it I would. There's things that are going on in the background, like Charlotte talking to Millie about having a family. Originally, I would have had on the page, but so I'd quite like to have little stories about those with the fill in the gaps from the other perspectives.
I would have
of.
loved, I would have loved seeing Charlotte and Olivia like real-time reactions to Gita and Nicola pairing.
Yeah, that is something a lot of people wanted to see, or kind of more comedy from the killer. Some people are a little bit disappointed maybe with their reactions. They wanted some more comedy in there. But the thing I wanted to do, because Charlotte has such serious issues with Nicola, I didn't want to do that comedy. I really liked Olivia being just gently there for Gita in a very mature way that shows her development. So I wanted that for Olivia. So the comedy value, that's why I got Kate to knock on the door and find them covered in ice cream. That's kind of
Yeah, well, I didn't say you had to lose that part. I have one more.
Basically, just asking you to make a book that's about this big.
Yeah, why not? Why stop there?
Yeah, mindful of the time. Two more questions each. Oh,
Whoo! Short stories needed, Maria says. I agree,
basically,
Maria, on the same page. Okay, you go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Are we doing one question each or two questions each?
Oh
Because
God, just
basically,
start one.
okay, cool. We've got oh, I've lost her. Hold on. Um, what Clara said, what is Claire's next project about?
I don't have a very good answer for this one. Sorry. I'm kind of mulling over a couple of stories at the moment at that note-taking stage, little scenes and things like that, trying to find the character, who they are, and what the emotional core of the novel is. But I haven't settled on one yet, so I can't. I just can't say. I'm sorry.
Ooh. Well, there's one thing about being an indie author. Let me see where that question was because we have a lot here. Oh yeah. Um, is there a lot of business side of publishing you have to deal with, or do you hire someone to do that aspect? And if it's you, how do you find the balance of being creative with having to follow through with the business side of publishing and promoting a book? That's the moment.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just me. I am terrible at balancing it. And I, but I tend, it kind of, well, in some way, I'm not, I suppose it kind of fits into my normal, because maybe because of ADHD, I find that I have to get obsessed about a story to actually write it. And it's got to be my hyper focus, and I have to put all my energy into that. I'm not thinking about marketing. I'm not thinking about anything else. My finance records are not good. My wife looks at that. Actually, my wife does help a lot with trying to keep track of taxes and things like that. I am very bad at that. So I do have my wife's help. She is enormously helpful. I have no idea what I'm answering at this point. Oh, business side of things. Yeah, so I do the book, but then I've kind of, reached, I'm exhausted by the end of it because I put so much energy into it and I need a break from it. So then I think, right, well, so I'll market the book now and I have a bit of a break and start thinking about other stuff while I'm marketing it, and trying to find all the receipts from stuff I've spent and trying to get my life in order again after a book. Because you should see the state of my desk at the end of a book. It's not good.
Well, you said last time we had you have like little colored post-its on your wall. And
Mm-hmm.
if you post a picture of that wall, we know that you're gonna write, you're in the writing
This
stages
is
of the next
true.
book. And I'm like, I'm just so waiting every time for that picture.
Yeah, is that most? Yeah, every book, for as far as I can remember, I get to a stage where I'm losing the plot in my head, and I've got to put the big emotional points down right in front of me so I don't lose it again. So yeah, at that stage, I'm hooked on a book and really want to write it. So if you see those, it's really good.
Um, I'm waiting for it, just saying. Um,
Definitely.
I have one more from Ute. Do you miss your characters when you finish the books as they have been an important part of your life for such a long time?
Yeah, I have found it really bad with this one. I didn't anticipate how much because yeah, I do miss characters, and then so have six of them for 3 years and a whole series, and my favourite setting. That's quite a lot to miss. So yes, I do.
So when are you moving back to Oxford?
I would love to, but not yet.
Maybe and at Nicola's age.
Maybe.
Okay, Jess, do you have one more?
I have one more. It's not hang on, I've lost it. I'll find it again. It's quite an important one. As a white author, how much research did you have to do into the British Indian culture to ensure you stayed respectful?
Um, Again, like I said, I like some familiarity with people and things I write about. So I live in an area where there's a big British South Asian population, so there's some familiarity there. I can reference things like the Gurdwara and things like that from everyday life. I know people, so I can hear people speaking in my head, so I can get real people who I've known at. For Olivia, it's more people I knew at work, maybe had shaped her, whereas Gita is shaped by people. She's not like somebody I know, but she is shaped by things that she might say. Um, is shaped by people I know now, and I do research, little snippets here and there, but the starting point is based in real life, as a lot of things are in my books. And then hiring a sensitivity reader was essential as well, because you don't know, most important, you don't know what you don't know. And that's why the sensitivity reader is important, because you don't know what you've completely overlooked because you don't have that lived experience. That's my approach to it.
Interesting. Okay.
Thank
Um,
you.
I think for our last question, if you were stuck um on an island on your own with one of these six characters, which one would you choose and why?
Nicola, because we are getting out of there, aren't we? That woman will not rest until we are saved.
That is the best.
That is the
That
straight
is
down the line.
great. Okay. I'm gonna say thank you, thank you, thank you very much for all your time and all your brilliant answers. I think we tackled 75% of what we got sent in.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're just reiterating the Patreon, Patreon, Patreon
Yeah.
thing. Um,
And maybe
um,
have you on here again just to chat for another 6 hours.
yeah, we could. Why not? Just do like a Clare Ashton special.
Yeah.
6 hours of not asked questions. That's good. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone else who have joined us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you want to watch this, of course, again, you can on YouTube. Just keep your eye on our socials, and you will see when the YouTube video is posted. And then let's do a quick thing to our next meetup, Jess.
Yep. You don't have to wait a whole month, unlike normally. Our next book club is going to be the Secret Crush Book Club by Carmen Lee, and that's going to be on the 25th of October, so in 2 weeks.
Ooh,
Got eyes peeled on our socials because it's going to be like the Russian doll of book clubs, a book club inside a book club inside a book club. Um,
great.
yep. But thank you, everyone. Claire, final question. Where can we find you?
um, Instagram is where I hang out most. That's a good place.
Good.
And
Well, we've
what's your
tagged you in all
handle?
the.
Oh,
Yeah.
I must say, yeah, thank you for those amazing quote posts you did. Such all those posts you do are incredible. They were amazing.
Yay, Jess, our social media manager. Woohoo! Okay, enough feathers up our own butt. Um, thank you. Thank you again, everyone, and we'll see you next time.